What's going on, everybody? It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are talking about this situation with Jon Favreau and the potential retcon of the sequel trilogy, the future of The Mandalorian, what's going on. There's so much out there about this. I know this story is a few days old, and I just didn't even want to make a video about it. I talked about my feelings on Friday Night Tights, and more people have continued to ask me about it, so I decided let's just make a video and get it over with. So ultimately, there's this article where Bounding Into Comics talks about an interview with Jon Favreau where he seemingly confirmed that The Mandalorian will link to the sequel trilogy. This is not breaking news. This is not the first time Jon Favreau has said this. He has said this on multiple occasions, and I firmly believe that that is exactly what's going to happen. I do not believe that the sequel trilogy is being retconned. Do I want it to be retconned? Absolutely. But I do not think it's actually going to happen. But since this interview released, obviously there's been a lot of discussion and a lot of people are talking about it. Doomcock released a video where he reached out to his sources and got more information, and within the information basically saying that Favreau and Filoni are reporting to Bob Iger, not Kathleen Kennedy, and they have complete control over the show, and that there is still a plan to retcon the sequel trilogy. That's cool that Doomcock has those sources and he has that story. And I believe that he is getting the information. I just don't believe the information. I don't believe that the sequel trilogy is being retconned. At best, what I think could happen is exactly what we discussed on Friday Night Tights. And I think Ryan Kendall has had a really good take on this. So basically, at best, what could happen is that they could kind of just ignore the sequel trilogy and start telling stories outside of the sequel trilogy and just not really focus too much on that era. And I think that's the best move. I think that's the most realistic move, but I do not see an actual retcon. Do I hope I'm wrong? Again, yes, I hope I'm wrong. I absolutely hope I'm wrong because I think the sequel trilogy is truly garbage beyond belief. But with that said, so much has gone into these movies, from money, from creativity, from the attacking of the fans that didn't like them. So to retcon these movies, you're basically admitting that the fans were right, and I don't see Disney doing anything like that. But I do think that from a business standpoint, they're probably looking at the internal numbers, and they're just saying, yeah, look, when you do Star Wars right, this is the reaction. When you have Luke Skywalker return as Luke Skywalker, this is the reaction. When you have Baby Yoda, when you have characters like Ahsoka that the fans like, this is what Star Wars can be versus the trash of the sequel trilogy. So I think that they could make a move away from the sequel trilogy in a subtle way and just not really talk about it, and continue to tell stories around it, but not talk about it directly, except for a subtle hint there or a subtle hit here or there. I think that's the most realistic possibility. Now, one thing that Doomcock said in his video that I think is a very, very valid point is he said that they had no idea that the reaction of Luke Skywalker would be this big. And that is very important right there. And another point to add to this is that Jon Favreau says they didn't always plan for Luke Skywalker to appear in The Mandalorian Season 2. So this is something that actually happened, and it wasn't pre-planned. And if that's the case, then once that Luke Skywalker moment happened, you have to think from a behind-the-scenes standpoint, you have to think that Disney and Lucasfilm looked at this and said, holy shit, we had no idea. We had no idea. Now, the fact that they didn't have any idea, it just truly shows how bad things are at Lucasfilm. How do you not have any idea that Luke Skywalker would make this much difference? He's Luke Skywalker. What is wrong with you people? Of course he was going to turn the needle. Of course people were going to freak out. How in the hell do the people at Lucasfilm not know this? What is wrong with these people? Who are they hiring? I'll tell you who they're hiring. They're hiring people that don't care about Star Wars, that only care about social justice propaganda. And the fact that they were blindsided by the success of Luke Skywalker's return tells you everything you need to know about the people at Lucasfilm that are in charge of these stories. It is ridiculous. For my part, I'm a fan of Favreau. I'm a huge fan of Filoni. I will continue to be a fan of these guys. And I look forward to their stories. But yeah, all roads do lead to the sequel trilogy still. Like I've said, I enjoy a lot of this stuff in isolation, just like I enjoyed the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars Season 7, the final 4 episodes, was perfection, damn near perfection. Far better than anything we've gotten in The Mandalorian. And I've loved elements of The Mandalorian as well. But the Clone Wars Season 7 was truly on another level, especially those final 4 episodes. And so I'm very much happy with Favreau, and I'm happy with Filoni. And I believe that they are operating in isolation right now. And I don't mean that in terms of like they're just going against Kennedy or whatever. They just have their own vision, and they're doing their thing. And it kind of collides with what everything else we've seen with Disney Star Wars up to this point. Now, what happens moving forward, I truly don't know. And I've speculated so much to the point where I don't even know what to say anymore. I've talked about how Jon Favreau, who has shown himself to be someone who really can start something special. And he did that with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then Kevin Feige, being a very intelligent executive and businessman, saw Favreau's vision, swooped in, kind of took control of Favreau's vision, and it took it to where he wanted it to go. And that's how you have the success of the MCU. Because by the time we got to Iron Man 2, Kevin Feige and Marvel were already messing with Favreau's story and really affecting the story he wanted to tell by pushing elements of the bigger MCU into it. And then ultimately, we saw what happened with that, the most successful thing we've ever seen in movie history. So if Kennedy is a smart executive, which we know she's not, she's a very, very ignorant person. She's very dumb, and she doesn't understand Star Wars. But if she were a good executive, she would take what momentum Favreau and Filoni have created, and she would build upon that with the right vision. That's what a smart business person would do in this situation. She's not going to do that because she is obsessed with identity politics. I have no idea, though. At the end of the day, we're going to see how this all works out. Do I hope the sequel trilogy gets retconned? Yes. Do I think it's going to get retconned? No. At best, all I can see is them subtly moving away from it in the future. Time will tell. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video. Check out geeksandgamers.com, our website, where you can go over there and make an account for free. You can jump in the forums and have a discussion. And for a minimum of $10 a month, you can become a premium member. That helps the site, that helps the brand. And we are currently developing an app right now. And if you become a premium member, you will be elevated to participate in the alpha and the beta testing phases of our app once it's available. And you can give a minimum of $10. You can give more than $10. It also gets you exclusive access to our live streams and other things that we do for our members. So thank you all for the support. We appreciate it. I'll see you over in the forums. Have a great day, and we will talk to you later.